So right now we've got 4 Ole Miss runners, a 5th Ole Miss runner, 6th Ole Miss runner right here in the top 10 to 15s early in the race. Here at John Hunt Park, you start off with about a 750, 800 meter straightaway for a nice big sweeping right-hand turn. At no point on the course at John Hunt is it any more narrow than 10 meters wide, so nice wide course, lots of opportunities to pass, very few bottlenecks. But if you are not familiar with the course, you can end up running quite a bit of extra distance if you don't know the tangents very well. Looks like there's already some separation here in the pack. Ole Miss and Auburn and Lee University are the top 6 competitors this morning. Not even a mile into the race just yet. We are sitting at about 1,200 meters right now. Nice big sweeping right-hand turn around the beautiful lake here at John Hunt. Coming up on the first mile here, about 250 out from it. Ole Miss is employing their team tactics here. 4 runners, 1 Auburn runner. See if I can get you some names here in just a few moments. I apologize, we didn't have time to get the clock up, but we will get you a clock time here in just a moment as we come up through the mile right now. So we are moving right along here. Those are girls right now. What's that Auburn number? Hmm? 390. That's what I thought, but that's not correct, I don't think. Oh well. That's Auburn Montgomery. Oh, just kidding, you're right. Alright. Alright, this is Ryan Cannon, the Auburn runner, hanging tough with the Ole Miss competitors. On the Ole Miss side, we have Luis Cruzado. No, excuse me. We have Cole Bullock. We have Toby Gillen. We have Landon McNair. And we have Cruz Gomez. So those are your top 5 competitors this morning right now. opened up about a 20-meter lead on the rest of the field as we're coming up on about the 1.5 mile mark here as we just come up to the crest of this little hill here. So on this 8K course, we're going to do a small 3K loop followed up by a 5K loop. So the men today will complete the same second loop as the rest of the competitors this weekend. The ladies will just do one 5-kilometer loop. So right now we're right at just past a mile and a half in. .726 on the clock right now. Not sure if the pace is slowed a little bit by the front group or the chase back is picking it up a little bit, but that 20-meter gap that they had has closed a little bit. See if I can't get a name for that runner that is closing the gap here in just a moment.
569.
That is Middle Tennessee State, Brian Kiptu, who has closed the gap, sitting in 6th position now. Still 4 Ole Miss runners, Ryan Cannon of Auburn, and then Kiptu of Middle Tennessee State trying to close that gap. Looks like we got a Tulane runner in about 6th position along, or 7th position with a Lee competitor. Here we're going to come back through the beginning stretch of the race here, right where the competitors started this morning. So they'll have this long straightaway right back down, and then they will complete the 5-kilometer portion of the course. Just try C1. Try C1. No, not that one. Just kidding. Try C3. Or you can manual zoom. There's a button somewhere that you can do it quickly. I can't see it. Just manual zoom if you want. Oh. Did you do it? All right, looks like Kiptu and the Tulane competitor, as well as two Tulane, 2 Middle Tennessee runners now have joined the lead pack. So still 4 Ole Miss, 2 Tulane, 1 Auburn, 2 Middle Tennessee State, and then a Lee competitor round out the top 10 right now. Then there's a little gap to 2 chase runners, Ole Miss and I believe it's Kentucky. I can't tell from here. Taking some very liberal approaches to cutting the tangents there on the inside of the course. might as well record it so it'll be higher quality on this. You know what I'm saying?
Just a heads up, I'm gonna be right here on your left, and then I'm gonna go to the 3 mile.
All right, so field's widening out a little bit. This is a hard section on the course to run the proper tangent. If you are tuning in right now, the best line is actually where the Ole Miss competitors on our right are on their left of the course, but then they need to basically hold straight from there, not stay on this left line, because they are going to want to turn right just up ahead, their right. The Auburn competitor has a pretty good line as well. So we are just about 2¼ miles away from the finish here of this men's 8K at the Southern Showcase hosted by Jacksonville State University. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. If you're watching from home or on travel, we appreciate you tuning in. If you are enjoying the coverage, please like and subscribe, as we will try to continue to give you more coverage. We will have the women's race up at 8:30 as well. So this is Ryan Cannon of Auburn University taking the lead here, and this is Kip 2 of Middle Tennessee State on his shoulder, still followed up by the 4 Ole Miss competitors that have been running in that pack of 4 all morning long. Nice group, still anybody's race. All right, this mat right here will signify 2.1 miles to go here this morning. Looks like they're starting to develop a little bit of separation here with Cannon and Kip 2 of Auburn and Middle Tennessee State respectively, and then the Tulane competitor. Let's see if I can get a name on him. Bib 668. Which is Bradley McAvery of Tulane University. And the top 3 runners here have created a gap here back to a second Middle Tennessee State runner. But right now it's these 3 runners pushing the pace here this morning at beautiful John Hunt Park in Huntsville, Alabama. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Southern Showcase hosted by Jacksonville State University. Beautiful morning for cross-country racing. Upper 60s right now here in Huntsville, Alabama. Right now it does look like at glance that Ole Miss does have the team competition secured right now, with the 4 runners in sight just behind that lead pack, and then it's not too far back, another 30 meters or so to their 5th runner. So barring catastrophe, they're running well as a team here. Here on the course, you do want to be on our right side, their left side, as you have a 180-degree turn coming up just ahead. 16:15 on the clock right now, with just about 1.5 miles to go. Again, this is Ryan of Auburn University leading the way right now. Two Middle Tennessee State runners, Kip 2 and Bradley of Tulane. And they have opened up about a 15-meter lead on the chase pack led by Ole Miss. The blue line, in case you're wondering at home, just signifies the center of the course. So it is not a tangent line or anything like that. Just a training tool used locally by a lot of the runners, so it helps preserve the tangent lines on the course so we're not wearing those out. All right, this is Ryan of Auburn University here, trying to assert control of the race. We're coming up on just over just over a mile to go here in just a moment. The mats that we'll cross over here in just a second are about 1.1 from the finish here. All right, we've got a slight downhill on the course before we make our final climb of the day. It's hard to tell quite how big the hill is when you're riding in a cart or sitting at home, but it is a little bit of a hill, a little bit of a climb. It's not the easiest hill to get up, but once you get to the top, you've got about 1,000 meters of downhill or flat running from the top of the hill. All right, this is Bradley of Tulane and Ryan of Auburn University, and they have created a gap of about 5 to 10 meters over Kip 2 of Middle Tennessee State, and then there's another 20-meter gap or so to the Ole Miss contingency. You may be able to tell as these runners start going up the hill, they start to labor a little bit more, shorten their stride. And Auburn and Tulane have opened up a little bit more of a gap even on this hill here. But it's still Ryan of Auburn University with control of the race. Now this particular section of the course, again, 10 meters wide, another opportunity or missed opportunity to run the tangents really, really well. Just up ahead, they're going to make a sweeping left-hand turn. So they need to start drifting slowly to the middle of this course right now. The best line, honestly, would probably be right behind the gator here, as you're going to start running to the left here, and then one big final turn before we come into the home stretch. We will try to have the clock going for the ladies race. We apologize, but as we all know as fans of cross country, the times don't matter, the places do. So this is Ryan and Bradley of Auburn and Tulane. Looks like Ryan might just run away with this thing here. We're coming up on just about 600 to go here at the Southern Showcase in Huntsville, Alabama. Host school is Jacksonville State University. Their head coach and meet director, Jeremy Province, has done a wonderful job with this meet the last few years. And Huntsville is glad to partner with him on this excellent event. All right, this is Ryan now opened up a 20-meter lead on Bradley of Tulane, followed up by another 30-meter gap back to Kip2 of Middle Tennessee State. Nice downhill here, so if you've got anything left in the legs, you can really open it up and accelerate on this downhill. Ryan's opened up a nice gap here. Gonna come in comfortably now, 30 meters on his next competitor. We're coming up on 200 to go here in just a moment. This is Ryan Cannon of Auburn University here at the 2023 Southern Showcase hosted by Jacksonville State University. Can we go through? No? This is Ryan Cannon of Auburn University with 50 meters to go, going to take home the win today at the 2023 Southern Showcase here in Huntsville, Alabama. He's gonna back up. He's gonna back up. Yeah, can you back us all the way up? Can you go this way a little bit?
Switch to the other stream?
No, we're not doing any switching. It's just all from this one. Are you good right there for now?
Can you put the tailgate down? No, it's better for me. How much slack do I have?
Not much. Kind of wrapped up right now.
Doing that red thing again.
Oh, what are you doing with? Yeah, just hold it. You do have it recorded? Okay, good. We'll see you here in the fall. Just record here on your phone. Just record it so we can.
Like a regular video?
Yes, regular video. Yes, thanks for tuning in. There is sound. We just had it muted at the finish line. Lots of background noise and music going. So we will have audio for the women's race with commentary going. So just stay tuned. The women's race is at 8:30. So hang around. Go get you a cup of coffee. Go for a quick, 3-mile run as long as you can do it less than 30 minutes. And then come back and join us at 8:30 for the women's race, which should be an excellent event. You can kill it, or not kill it, but just go down.
What time is the next race?
8:30. We got
All the time in the world.
So. Could we redo this?
All right, our time does read 8 a.m.
Because I basically just had it pinched under me, which was pointless.
Window for the
Because I couldn't let it go because it would flap in front of me.
race will end in 15 minutes.
I've got
Make
some
sure
up
you
here.
report any scratches before 8:15. And just a reminder, live results from today's competition can be found online at expresstiming.com.
Dude, Sean, you need to get. You look really uncomfortable.
Me, I was fine actually. It wasn't that bad.
I'm
That
like
cone,
sitting here
that,
and like.
that cone of my beads was nice.
Don't forget, throughout the morning, visit jackstatesports.com for post-race updates from the 2023 Southern Showcase.
Women's race is at 8:30.
Yeah.
5K. 5K.
runner-up with a team total score of 81, Auburn University. And your 2023 Southern Showcase Team Champion with a team total score of 39, the Rebels of Ole Miss. We invite you to make plans to attend the official award ceremony, which will begin after the conclusion of the women's race at approximately 9:15.
Oh yeah. Once we got it going, we were trying to be too cute, so we had to cut out some of the cuteness to just do what we know will work. Yeah, he's got a big head. Don't All right, we are just a few moments away here.
In box 24.
Check, check, check,
Georgia State University.
You guys did a really
In
good job.
box
check.
25. University of Mississippi.
All right, we're getting ready here for the women's race in just about 6 minutes. We're going to kick off the Southern Showcase women's race here in just about 6 minutes. They're doing live introductions right now for the women's event. All right, we are 4 minutes away from the start of the women's 5K race here at John Hunt Park. This is the Southern Showcase hosted by Jacksonville State University. Want to take a moment to thank the City of Huntsville Parks and Rec, as well as the Huntsville Sports Commission for getting the course ready for this season of cross country here. So we pan the field of these competitors today. We got quite a large field. Should be a great race this morning. 3 minutes to the start or so. We will get a clock this time around on the women's race, so stay tuned for that. It'll make it a little easier seeing what these ladies are running. 5-kilometer course here at John Hunt is just one big lap. And we are just moments away. All right, here we are. We're just a minute or so away from the start of the race. Starting official is ready. Overcast morning right now. Sun has dipped behind the clouds, so makes for a little cooler temperatures. In the low 70s right now in Huntsville, Alabama here at beautiful John Hunt Park. Over to the starting official.
Ladies, it will be a two-command start. On your mark, and I will fire the gun and drop the red flag simultaneously. At the 100-meter mark, the towers are marked. If anyone falls before they reach this point, you'll hear multiple shots. We'll bring you back and restart you. You pass this point, the race is on. Timer ready. On your mark.
All right, and the race has started here at this 2023 Southern Showcase Women's 5K.
Our women's 5-kilometer field is off and running in the 2023 Southern Showcase.
Right now we've got Ole Miss right here in the front middle, right in front of us. We've got an Auburn competitor over to the right. So we zoom out a little bit, try to capture more of the field for you here. We're going to get this stopwatch going here in just about 8 seconds or so. All right. All right, we've got a good start here, good clean start this morning here in the women's 5K. And similar to the men's race, we've got Ole Miss up front with 4 runners and followed up with some Middle Tennessee, Tulane sprinkled in there, Auburn. The only difference this time around is it looks like we have an Alabama competitor running up front as well with this lead group. But right now, this is Tulane's Gemma Robollo of Tulane right now to the early lead. This is Doris of Alabama in the front here. And we've got Jean Coetzee of Auburn University. We've got Faith Nyathi of Middle Tennessee State and Purity Songa of Middle Tennessee State. And contingency of Ole Miss runners on our left, their right of the course here. So coming up here on about 1,200 meters into the race right now. As you can see, just under 4 minutes on the clock, so you'll get a better idea of how these ladies are running than you did in the men's race, because we did not have the stopwatch going. We apologize for that. These ladies on the right-hand side here, I'm not quite sure if they understand that they're turning right over here. This is Jean Coetzee of Auburn University, Doris of Alabama, Middle Tennessee State competitors, and then the 4 Ole Miss ladies to the early lead right now. Coming up on the first mile here, just a few moments. .516 or so through that first mile. Already created a little bit of separation here early on in this race, just past the mile. Looks like there's about a 10-meter gap here from the first 4 ladies to the Ole Miss contingency, with the 1-2 lane runner in that group to round out the top 9 or so. Again, this is a 1-loop course here on the women's 5K. The first mile is mostly downhill or flat. Second mile is probably the most difficult mile of the course. No significant climbs, but it is kind of a gradual climb the whole second mile, followed up by a short downhill, and then the final climb of the day before you get about 1,000 meters of downhill to flat running into the finish chute at John Hunt Park. These ladies are going to be making a right-hand turn here, so they need to be moving over again. The Auburn runner seems to have the path there. Okay, ladies are following suit there. Coming up on about the halfway point of the course here in just a few moments. Got a little bit of a climb here. Fans have come out this morning to support these runners. Of course, John Hunt Park this year will be the host of the National Junior College Cross Country Championships in November. So right now it is Auburn and Alabama running 1-2 side by side right now. This is Doris and Jean having a little Iron Bowl rivalry here to start off in September. We are at about the halfway mark of the course right now. And these 2 runners, Jean and Doris here, are creating a little bit of separation back to the Middle Tennessee State competitors. Looking strong right now. This is Doris of the University of Alabama, who just opened up a 10-meter gap in a matter of seconds here over Jean of Auburn University. And then there's another 20-meter gap or so back to the Middle Tennessee State competitors. So we're about 400 meters out from the 2-mile mark right now. And panning back, we've got Alabama, Auburn, 2 Middle Tennessee State competitors, the contingency of 4 Ole Miss competitors, Tulane to round out the top 9 to 10 runners there. "10 minutes on the clock, just shy of 2 miles here. Once we cross over the mats here, you'll get to see the split here for Doris, as she has now opened up about a 30-meter gap or more over Jean of Auburn University. All right, coming up on this 2-mile mark here. All right, that is Doris through in about 10:34. So she's held about the same pace here on this 2nd mile, and the 2nd mile is slower than the 1st mile. So now we've got this downhill section before we make the final climb of the day here at John Hunt Park. Always great crowds here at John Hunt Park. It's a very spectator-friendly course. You can get from mile 1 to mile 2 and back to the finish with relative ease. If you're a spectator, you don't have to be super fit or run the same distance as the competitors do to enjoy watching the event. All right, now we have Doris making her final climb of the day up this fairly long hill. It's gradual, but it is a longer climb. You can really get some perspective on how far back down the rest of the competitors are here as Doris makes this final climb. And once you're at the top of this hill, you're about 1,000 meters out from the finish here on this 5K course. And this intersection here on the course, it's a tough section again, as I mentioned in the men's race, to run a really good tangent. Again, this course is 10 meters wide at its most narrow point, so it is a little difficult at times to run those tangents perfectly. She's doing a pretty good job here. She does have a little bit of a sweeping left-hand turn, as she's about a half mile to go from the finish line right now. And right now it is all Doris of the University of Alabama, as she has now opened up about a 75 to 100 meter lead over 2nd place. Looking very strong, smooth, relaxed. All right, about 600 meters to go here in this women's race. It is still all Doris of the University of Alabama coming down this nice section here. If you got anything left in the tank, you can really let it roll on this section of the course. It is still Jean of Auburn University back into second position this morning. And then the battle for third is on. It's anybody's race there. You've got about 5 to 6 competitors there all battling for third place. Right here we are 400 meters out. 400 meters out for Doris of the University of Alabama. And she has put on a clinic here in the second half of this race and run really, really strong. 15:20 on the clock right now, just over 200 meters to go, so this is going to be an excellent time. She's going to be 16 low for this 5-kilometer race on this fast but fair course. It is legitimately 5 kilometers, no short courses here at John Hunt Park. And this is Doris of the University of Alabama cruising in to victory. About 150 to go. And this is Doris coming through at 16:11 for the women's title of the Southern Showcase here at beautiful John Hunt Park, hosted by Jacksonville State University. We're going to back it on up here and see if we can't get some additional footage of the finish line here. Thanks for tuning in to the 2023 Southern Showcase hosted by Jacksonville State University. We appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the coverage, and we'll be back in about a month or so as we stream the coverage of the Randolph High School Invitational here at John Hunt Park, and look forward to having you tune in there. Appreciate it, and you guys have a wonderful day.